In this video, I'm going to show you how to enroll participants in a program. So first things first, make sure your participant is in the system. If they are, then that's great. You can go ahead and search for them here, and full name, first name, and then just click on their record. If they're not in the system, you can go ahead and add it, like we discussed in the intro video. So now that you're within a participant's record, you can see it marks basic info, and then you can see these tabs running across the top. Like we talked about before, they're just buckets of information that pertain specifically to the record you're on. So in this case, all this information pertains specifically to my participant mark. And so to that end, we're going to go ahead and add program information for Mark. So I'm going to navigate to the Program tab here. And because he's pretty newly entered into the system, I'm going to go ahead and add his first program enrollment record by pressing this green button, enroll a new participant in new program. And that's going to allow me to add a new program record and pull up the program basic info. So you can see this form, there's a bunch of stuff to fill out. It's not as confusing as it looks. The first thing it's going to ask you to do is just select a program. So I'm going to enter one for the bridge. And then it's going to ask you for the status or milestone that that participant is at. So like I said, when I first went to add this program, this is Mark's new, so he's going to do the first step, which is enrollment. And then you're going to want to fill out the information about enrollment. So one note before we go any further is that you'll notice that there's there's two other statuses, so intake and completion, and then you'll notice on the form that I'm on, if you scroll down, there's a section for intake information and a section for exit or completion information. And so the sections on this form replicate basically the drop down in the milestone status field. And one other thing to note as well is that if I select enrollment and if I try to submit the form, it's going to say, oh, sorry, you need the enrollment date to submit the form. So that's the least amount of information you need. Obviously, it's best to put as much information as you possibly can, but at least you need the enrollment date in order to enter this record. And then similarly, if I do completion, I try to submit the form, it's going to say, sorry, you need the exit completion date down here. All right, so we'll go back and put it to enrollment. You also may have noticed that for the bridge, once I selected bridge in the program dropdown, you saw that this information sort of opened up. So for example, if I submit after school, it goes away. So there's going to be special information that you need to enter for bridge participants. And you can see all of that here. So just various information about their education and other information, forms completed, stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and put my enrollment date as today. I'm going to put my referral organization. And this is just pulls an organization from the system that's entered into the system. And then I'm going to just search for the external referral person. And what I mean by referral organization is it pulls from this list. And then I'm going to go through and just add a couple yeses in here. And periodically you might see things pop up depending on your answers. Those are just conditional. So for example, if I say yes, then it's asking me for the date of intake meeting versus no. It's going to ask me reason why not. And again, this is test data. So when you go into the system, it'll actually have real reasons. So I'm just going to fill out a little bit so at least it looks a little complete. So I'm going to press submit. And this is going to take me to a view of the sort of a summary of the information I just entered to make sure it all looks correct. And then if we go back to the Programs tab, you can see that we'll see our one program entry listed. So you'll be able to see the status of the program listed here, and then the enrollment date, and then we have completion date too. So when Mark moves through the bridge program and completes it successfully, all you need to do, you don't need to add a new program record because this is his current bridge program record, you'll just go back and edit it and then change the program status or milestone to be completed. So we'll go ahead and change this to be completed once it loads. So we'll go completion, and then we'll scroll down here like I noted before. We need to put in a date. So we'll put in, the date that he completed and then the reason. And then once, I'm not going to spin that out, but once you do, it'll update. So the status will be completion. So you can see, how long Mark was actually in the bridge program. You can calculate that based on the day, the difference between this enrollment date and the exit date. So in this case, it'd be like, 25 days or something like that. So that's how you enroll a client in a program. And thanks for watching.